Being a young man nowadays is I I honestly don't envy you guys. I see the pressures. I see how crazy and different the world is versus, when I was in my 20s. I'm 33 years old. So, I've had a little experience in life. Not old, not young, but somewhere in the middle. I've seen this world, this climate, being a very aware and observant person, which I always preach about is very important. You pick up on those patterns, you pick up on the trends, and you kind of see where things have come from versus where they are now. The world has changed quite a bit from when I was in my late teens, early 20s, which has been, 10, 11 plus years ago. Not that long ago, but it's been a while. So much has changed over the course of the world. I was younger in my teens in a time period where social media was fairly, I don't want to say new, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is nowadays, right? I think Facebook, I think what was it? What was that damn MySpace? Was one of the early platforms when I was probably in my early teens. MySpace, Facebook, everyone was on those platforms. We didn't have, Snapchat at the time, Instagram, all these platforms that we have now, TikTok. But I've seen the world before that. I've seen the world before everyone had a cell phone in their hand. You did have a cell phone, but you were typically playing Snake on it. But it was a world before everyone had cell phones and were on social media, where everyone wasn't connecting with other people. Honestly, to talk to someone else, you had to get on the phone. Oftentimes, a lot of people had dial-up, so you were tying up phone lines back in those early periods. But so being able to see the transition, I just kind of seen how life has changed, like the pressures that we have now that we didn't have back then. And I think, as a young man now, you're being born into this world. You're reaching your, adult life into this world that's already at this point in time. And I think that from what I've observed, not only through other people's experience, but just, things I've observed in my own life as time has gone on, it is a completely different world, guys. It's a stressful world. It's you see you see young men now complaining about, not complaining, but expressing their frustrations with the dating world, for example. Things are a lot different. Things are a lot different. People have so much access to everyone nowadays that they didn't have before. And I think that I don't even want to get into that topic, but it's an example of how things have changed. You're a young man now trying to, find a good partner, someone to settle down with in life. It's going to be difficult. I'm just going to be real with you. It's just going to be difficult. It doesn't mean that the quality of people out there has declined. It just means that finding quality people may be a little bit more difficult, which is strange considering that you have more access to people, right? But I think sometimes the abundance of things, the access to things, the ease of access with things that we have in the world now can kind of degrade the quality. So I think in a way, the exposure that we have now, too much social media, people are just influenced by what they see online, negative mindsets. You can plant a negative idea on the web, and it'll just spread. And I think it's definitely spread amongst people in the dating marketplace, and that's probably the reason why men are having so much trouble with people nowadays. I've seen it. The mindset of people has changed so much over the years. We're being influenced so much by music, these trends out there, these movements that are just not good. They're not good. And the problem is a lot of people don't know how to filter some of that stuff out and not let it influence them in a negative way. So what you have is, venom being planted somewhere on the web, and it just spreads. And then again, that just decreases the quality of potential partners that you may have in life. So there's just so much now as a young man that I really don't envy. But one of the purposes of this channel is I do want to reach out to young men and to share these experiences, share what I have learned, observed, and how, different ways to cope with it, different ways to navigate this life. So that way you can develop a philosophy in life that's going to help you get through it. This is a difficult world. You have to have a solid foundation. You have to have a philosophy to get through these challenges, and it's going to constantly be evolving. It's not going to ever stay the same. It's going to constantly be evolving because the world is changing, the world is evolving. You have to evolve with it. You have to evolve with it as the mindsets and state of mind of people is evolving. You have to do the same in order to keep up. So again, I want to talk a little bit about just using those frustrations to your advantage, guys. Using those frustrations to your advantage. One of the things is you always have to keep an eye on the future, right? You always want to not get so consumed with what state you're in your life right now, But think ahead, right? Don't get so frustrated if you're having difficulty finding a partner right now. You know what? Maybe this isn't the time of your life for you to even focus on that. Focus on building your skill sets. Right now, the job market is, I think everyone is realizing with so many job cuts out there, we're going to have so much more resources, people resources, and not enough jobs. There's going to be so little demand, but so much supply of people. And I think, which I hope that more people are, paying attention to this, but a lot of people are going to get caught off guard. You don't want to be one of those people. So it's important. Learn how to use your hands, guys. This is a very important thing, especially in this world now that's becoming so digital. It's gonna be difficult. And like getting into the tech sector is gonna be difficult. It's gonna be increasingly becoming difficult because a lot of, for example, right now you got what is it? Copilot, all these AI platforms, ChatGPT, all these AI platforms that are able to generate code. You write, pretty much ask it what you want it to write, and it will generate it for you. Modifications on coding, that sort of sector, it was a big sector for people to get in. Everyone was pushing for it. I got into it. That was what I pursued, but that's going to be a very difficult sector to get into nowadays. So you want to really start thinking ahead. Start thinking of different ways, different skills you can learn, things outside of that field. You can continue to learn that, but use your hands. Learn how to use your hands, especially get into those fields that people seem to be pushing against before. Getting a trade nowadays, I think, is going to be one of the bigger things. Electricians, plumbing, all these sorts of things that right now we don't have anything other than humans that are going to be able to work on these areas, and even that's probably going to change. What do we got? Like what's the Tesla robot now that's being deployed, and I can't remember the name. I don't want to say it wrong here, but you've seen like in the factories, that damn robot is telling people where to go, is guiding people, it's getting better and better. So at some point we're probably going to have robots out working on power lines in the power grid. So even that will probably change at some point. But my point is, develop more skills, learn how to use your hands. The important thing is to get to a point where you're confident in yourself that no matter what happens, no matter what climate happens in the world, that you can adapt. And that's going to be one of the most important things. I know it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Change is constant, and it's frustrating. This world change is so rapid right now. And maybe it was the case even before our time, but things are advancing at quite a rate right now, and people are getting left behind. People are getting scaled out, priced out. The cost of goods, services, buying a home, they're getting ridiculous right now. So this world is going to change quite a bit over the next, several decades. And I hope people are prepared for it. I hope we're prepared for it. Even myself, I constantly, every day I'm thinking about how do I keep my foot on the gas pedal? How do I keep the pressure going? How do I keep myself ahead of this curve so that way I can pivot if I need to? It's so important. You can't stick to something nowadays and think you're going to rely on it. Job security is not really there anymore. It's not really there anymore. And it's going to be fluctuating quite a bit over the next, several years. Again, there's just so many pressures as a man. And especially, again, as a man, right? You get with a partner, you get someone in your life. I get it. It's a relationship. It's amongst two people. But ultimately, they're going to be looking for you. They're going to be looking up to you. You got to be the leader, right? They're going to be looking for you to make things work. And if you can't handle that, if you can't make it work, they're not going to be there. They're not going to be there. Guys, as a man, again, you have to be, you don't take handouts. Right? No one's going to be leading you. You're not taking care of anyone, or someone else is not taking care of you. Unless you're living with your parents or something, and you're still living off their income, sure. But, you get out into this world, if you want to have a family, kids, they are looking to you. You are the one being dependent upon. And it's always been that way. But I'm just telling you right now, in this day and age, if you can't handle that, you will get swallowed up. So it's very serious. It's very serious that you stay ahead of yourself, that you be able to be self-sufficient and lead your life, because no one else is going to follow if you can't do that. So the pressures that you have, it causes frustrations, guys. I know it can seem like a helpless world right now. You're having difficulty again with relationships. You're having difficulty with work. You got to think forward. You got to think, how can you continue to develop yourself, how you continue to improve, keep yourself ahead of the curve, continue growing different skills, Work on your mind. Your mind is, I always talk about it, your mind is like your most important resource, and you got to be able to invest in it, right? You can lose everything else in life, but you can't afford to lose your mind, because you can lose, your finances. But if you have the mind, you can build yourself back up. It's gonna be difficult too, but if you don't have the mind, you're just out of it. You're SOL. Set yourself up so that you won't be shit out of luck, right? You gotta stay ahead. So use these frustrations, use this pressure as fuel, right? You got to keep your foot on the throttle. Again, if you don't, you will get swallowed up by this world. And I think that's gonna be the theme going forward. That we have to keep our foot on the throttle. We have to keep pushing forward and use those pressures to your advantage. Use those frustrations to your advantage. Use them to. I'm sorry. I had this TV on because I like to put these little nature sounds on for my dog. Heart, come here. Maybe she'll show herself. There you go. But anyway, oh, that's not too loud. But anyway, you got to keep your foot on the throttle, and you got to keep going forward. Use those pressures as fuel. Anything negative that happened to you, someone's broken up with you, or someone's fired you, use that to your damn advantage. I'll put it this way now in this video. You only really got two choices. That is to keep pushing forward or to give up. And if you give up, there is no hope. If you give up and think that you're gonna just take a break, don't intentionally take a break, because that may be extremely difficult to impossible to recover from. So the main thing is keep going forward, right? If anything negative happens in your life, a setback, those unintentional things, those pop-up obstacles, keep pushing forward, right? Keep pushing forward. They're gonna come. I know there's probably some ahead for me, but you gotta keep pushing forward, because ultimately you'll know that after you've gotten through obstacle after obstacle, you'll have confidence in yourself to rebound. You'll have confidence in yourself to pick yourself back up. And then you'll have confidence in yourself to move the way you need to move in this world. You have to be able to move. You have to be able to lead yourself. You have to be confident in yourself. And sometimes you just have to, what do they say? Fake it till you make it, right? Sometimes you just got to step up, make some noise, and try to curve the world ahead of you as you want to curve it, right? You got to keep your foot on the throttle. It's just so important. Use the frustrations to your advantage. I get it. Life is difficult right now, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. We have to accept that. We have to acknowledge that. That has to be a given. Don't even use it. Don't even get pissed off about it or get saddened by it. It's a given. That's the foundation. That's the medium. That's the base level of life right now. Now the question is, how do you move forward? How do you keep pushing forward, climbing mountain after mountain, so that way you can have the life that you want to live, right? Or at least be able to support yourself, because it's going to be difficult for a lot of people to do that over the next several years. All right, that's all I want to talk about, guys. I hope you are having a great day or night. If you want to stick around for more content, then subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you next time.